Hey everybody, I haven't posted any videos for a long time, so I thought I'd share one today. And this one's not really a good one. It's actually a pretty sad story of my life, but I think it needs to be told. So I didn't do very good in school. I struggled all through school. I got held back in fourth grade, and when I redid fourth grade over, that was the only grade I actually did good in. So I went fifth grade, sixth grade, barely made it. I get to junior high, and I go out for the basketball team, and I make the team. But first quarter grades come out and I'm way below where I need to be. So the coach says, hey, you need to work on getting these grades up. If you get these grades up, you can stay on the team. If not, we're going to kick you off. So I work really hard. I take my F's and make them D's. I take my D and made it a C. And I think I still got one F. So I have one F, like four D's and a C. I got an A in gym. And I give it to him and it's not satisfactory enough. So I get kicked off the basketball team for losing for grades. Devastated me, and I began to spiral after that. I didn't care about nothing. I wasn't good in school, so I just goofed off and got in trouble all the time, made people laugh. I thought I'd be a class clown would be the way to go, but inside me I was hurting really bad. Now I was going to North Parkway Assemblies of God Church. Pastor Gary was my youth pastor, and he was a great youth pastor and he loved us, but in my mind he was paid to love us. So I didn't really think anybody cared about me. I know that's not true, but in the seventh grade's mind, I thought everybody hated me. My mom and dad were always fighting, and it was always about me, it seemed like. And so I just started thinking about suicide, how I was going to do it, what I was going to do, how I was going to, I'd always do it. Dad's got a shotgun, I can kill myself. But I decided that I was going to go take some NoDoz, which were like pep pills. And so I went to the store and stole a big bottle of NoDoz. I took like 6 or 7 of them and got really sick and was really upset. Stomach was really sick. So I decided that was what I was going to do. That's how I was going to do it. And so I had made plans. I was going to do it on a weekend. I was just going to take the pills and go to bed, never wake up. I didn't care. Never reached out to anybody. No one ever even probably knew that I was struggling. So just happened to be church that Sunday. One of the older guys in my church, not older, when I say older, like in his 20s, says, hey, Keith, we have prayer meeting in my house on Tuesday nights, and after we pray, we play games. And he says, I'd like for you to come. I think you'd enjoy it. And his name was Jim Carrington, Dave Carrington's dad. And I'm like, well, and I knew Jim from the neighborhood. So I knew Jim, and he's like, no, seriously. He goes, you know what? I think it'd be good for you. I think you'd enjoy it. And I'm like, I don't even know. I don't want to pray. I don't even want to be here. So I said, sure, I'll go. And I think they called them wall builders. So I show up at his house on a Tuesday night. He made sure it was okay with my parents. I show up at his house on a Tuesday night, I think, and we go in and we have a half hour of praying. And I'm just laying there in a chair trying to figure out how to pray and just wait for the time to go. And finally, it's time to get up and play games. And they kind of separated us, guys with guys, girls with girls. And I got in a group of these men in my church that I never really talked to much. And I sat down with them and they must have sensed there was something wrong with me. They're like, hey, Keith, how's it going? I'm like, it's going all right, and I'm like, I'm struggling in school. I don't like school. I hate school. I hate myself. And I remember Jim goes, hey, Keith, I hated school. I barely made it through. But you know what? God can get you through it if you let him. I said, he said to me, he goes, there's a lot of things that I just couldn't do good in school. And he goes, but once I got saved and gave it to God, it was good. And then all these men that were probably in their 30s and 40s began to talk to me and give me advice about school and how they struggled in school and how they ended up going to a trade school, and encouraged me. And it made me realize that I had value, and because I never thought I had value in my life. And again, my youth pastor was pouring into me as hard as he could. But again, in my head, that's his job. But when other people started pouring into me, I realized that all the things that he had said about me and about the Lord were true. And I began to really self-examine myself. And the thought of suicide went away. Now, I never straightened up. Matter of fact, I probably got a little worse, but I realized that people did care about me. And it made a whole lot different in my life. So I say that because there might be somebody at your church, at your work, that you don't talk too much. but maybe they're hurting, and maybe they need a friend, and we need to be sensitive to that, and reach out to people, because you know what, you never know what your words can do to change somebody's life. I know what those words meant to me, and I probably wouldn't be here today because of that. And that's not a proud time in my life, and I don't think I've ever shared this with anybody. And it's a hard to share this, because when people see me, they wouldn't think that of me, and I would never think of that now. But man, I was close to it back then. Hey, thanks for watching, and remember, reach out to somebody that looks like they're hurting, because you never know what your words can do. And have a great day. Thank you.